Hey, what's up, Facebook? Friend, fake friend, family. I'm Derek, and right about now, it's probably a lot of shit I could get on here and say about what the next person done to me, doing to me, have done to me in the past, but I'm not. I just come on here to talk about what the fuck I did to myself. And when I say that, like, if you ever in a bad place in your head, you will make decisions that aren't in your best interest. You know, it was a day. Matter of fact, it was July 18th, 2020, when something happened to me that ignited a downhill spiral for me. You know, I'm sitting on my front porch, St. Augustine, Florida, not really thinking about shit, but fixing my box Chevy. Had it for a long time, been dragging it everywhere I go, putting motors in it, taking it out. Never was satisfied because I always felt like that car deserved a little more than average because it was my granddaddy's shit. But it's either here or there. This how the story went. I wanted to buy some tires. Really just some cheap tires to spin out and burn them out and see exactly what the car would do after I got the motor in it. And so I called a tire company. First tire company I called, if I ain't mistaken. Availability, size, and price. Bam, bam, bam. Young lady ran through it, told me exactly what the play was, what I needed to do, what I had to have, including the money, of course, to obtain these tires the following week. Well, we had a overly decent conversation about this and came to an agreement, and it wasn't really no loose ends to tie up. So that following week, wasn't able to go get them Monday, wasn't able to go get them Tuesday, nor Wednesday or Thursday. But I called several times telling her that I would get them, and so happened, you know, I wasn't needed on the job, so I'm off on Friday. I strike out to go get them. Get in that motherfucker, and things immediately took a turn from the prior agreement. I'm, being told I can't buy these tires. I can't buy them, you know. Not with the form of payment, which was a debit card, due to the fact that the company, she had to protect the company from stolen credit cards and credit card fraudsters. You know, in this video, there was a credit card payment, possibly, right before me. Or a debit card, I don't know. Never looked over anybody's shoulder, on my business. Only thing I know, I'm in there to do me and get me some rubber for my car. So, alright, I feel the bullshit immediately. Like, why I deserved it. You know, am I actually fitting the description of a credit card fraudster? when I got an ID present and a wallet present in my right hand along with my form of payment in my right hand. So, okay, I feel the bullshit. I'm saying, okay, I see this done hit. But come along shortly after, her manager, no, I'm sorry, a manager, red shirt, one of two in the store, come from out of the shop area, from behind possibly a desk I'm looking at. He entered the lobby and just straight snap on me for ever even saying anything to him. For no reason, just snap out, raise his voice, yell, everything, looking at me like, hey man, I want to do something to you. And I'm floored by this in the public, in front of other people. And all I ever did was say, excuse me, needed to use the restroom. And just immediately just removed me from his conversation, from conducting business, from doing anything. And looked right past me to another male that's the same skin color as him. And decide, how may I help you, sir? I'm standing at the counter, man, unserved right now. And I'm just wondering, hey, why is this just happening to me in this store right now? There's another guy sitting to my left behind me. One guy gone, another guy done walked in right behind me. He's seeing it. This is recorded. And people do whatever they want to do. Hey, fuck it. Let me just get out of this position. Let me just get out off this property, But let me ask a couple questions on why and who is calling the shots on me just buying these 4 tires and going about my business. Some guy that ain't there. Senior to that company. Very well informed of any rules or policies that actually been broke multiple times within a 2 or 3 minute span. So I get the name and I go and I call. I go home. Like maybe a 20-some minute drive, maybe. Go home and I complain to that tire company. 29, roughly, right, almost 30 minutes before I realized it. Guy called me afterward, a couple hours later, asked me to go back to the store, and I refused. If you meet the devil one time, why would you go back to the same place to meet him again? Don't know what he really had in store for me. I could only assume that he was going to attempt to make it right. But he didn't call me and talk to me and say nothing else showed any sincerity. He just called me on some persuasive shit. I wasn't going back anyway. I knew I didn't deserve it. I escaped there without having any type of authority issues, police authority issues, so I got my ass out of it. I went home and I complained. In the following, 2 days, the following week, I found an attorney. One of 2 that I called. And it wasn't not even a minute into the conversation. Yeah, Derek, I'll be delighted and honored to represent you. And he called back think later that night and told me that it was a federal issue. It fell under federal statute. Okay, this is what you can do. So by that following Thursday, I get a copy of the lawsuit that's already been filed. Never got a chance to read it. Never got a chance to say, hey man, okay, you know this was left out or you know that was left out. I done this on your behalf. So I don't know anything about a court, but I do know about telling the truth for myself. So after some docket entries and whatever the process, federal process to form this started occurring, I'm like, we're at a point of disclosure. Let me research disclosures. Okay, disclosures is a must that you list witnesses. You haven't done that. Why haven't you done that? I get a shoulder hunt from him in his office one day that I had to take off to go by and give him some information. One of many days that I took off work for no reason, for nothing that actually moved me forward in so many words, because he had put me in some fuck shit already and had leverage to the people that actually did this, took it from me and gave it to them. That's fine. Okay. So we're going along and I'm noticing now that this guy got me missing work last minute. He got me getting things, information written down as it happened or as it is, and altering what I say to fit whatever narrative he's trying to paint. At that point, it's real simple to say, hey, this is not what actually happened. This is a fictitious story. It's actually impacting the subject matter of this particular issue. So January 6th, after multiple communications by email about you putting me in a bad way with my job and things like that, you call me in to, hey, let's get this notarized. Gotta be, man, I've been calling you for over 2 weeks, man, trying to make contact with you about this issue. Now all of a sudden I gotta leave my job in the middle of the day to come see you, and you don't know what going on my job. But I leave. My employer, I know, wasn't happy about it, but I guess they was trying to just cater to my situation. Shout out to my company that I was drilling for. But I get there, man, and you ain't got my shit wrote down the way I gave it to you. It's something different, way different. Something the way you put it could easily, somebody could deem me a liar, and it would be my word against yours. Possibly, unless the emails, the pictures, screenshots of the information I sent you was brought in as evident. It would prove that you did some real scaly shit to me, man. But, okay, I accepted that. Because if I had known better, after the first time that I noticed something that you did to me that was wrong, incomplete, insufficient, disleveraging, I would have said fuck you right then, man. But I didn't. Well, maybe it's just the way the process lay out. It ain't time for it. It's not, hey, he'll bring this up. Well, 6-7 months done went past. He ain't did nothing for me, man. 5, 6 months, maybe 7. Nah, man, you ain't did nothing but work against me, man. You're not for me. The way you acting, the responses you give me, man, the way you respond to my questions that I'm asking you, man, for validation, you respond to me with shoulder hunches and you don't know and this and that. No, you playing on my intelligence at that point. So now, January 6th, you voluntarily jump off my case. And you leave me to word with these words. They're gonna crush you. How can they crush me, man? And then this shit missing out my case file. There are valid people. There are people that actually need to be depositioned and ask some questions about what happened if this court case is even valid at that point. Because right now you have it very valid. And to me it looks as if you may be possibly to do what you're doing to me, man, actually just working for the other side. Be that your secretary said that you went to a certain city at a certain time for a few days. But that's cool. You told me you were from that state. I ain't really trip about it. But if you took a trip to this certain little town, that ain't the town that you say you stay in that state. That's where the defendant stay. Where they're based, their origin base. But anyway, let's just move forward past the bullshit. It happened. I'm by myself now in court. Ain't got a clue. The only thing I'm holding on to is that I know for a fact that this is disleveragement. So just fast forward through the second person that's supposed to been helping me and didn't. Kind of did the same thing. Came in saying he would do one something and never made the correction. So, hey, I can't deal with you neither, man. Feel as if you're trying to swamp me, man. Trying to get me stuck. Or actually just not get me from the place where I was stuck by the hands of somebody else. So, moving forward now, I'm in court by myself. You know, me and God, no other human being with me. And I'm looking at all these people, none favor me whatsoever, none my skin tone, none my color. And I'm looking at this gentleman. Well, let me rephrase that, because I don't know what nationality this gentleman was, the judge, I mean. But he was stern, very thorough, and he listened to me. Real shit. He actually listened to me. He listened to me well. I listened to him. Moving forward, I don't recall ever seeing him again. But now, I'm fighting to get some things straightened out. I got screwed up. Even start, possibly, I got an incident in my car, kind of choking me a little bit, put this thing up. Burn out anyway. That's what's got me. Well, anyway, to make a long story short, for anybody that's still listening, never did see him no more. But I seen the presence of some group, organization, or power at odd hours of the night, odd places. Places that I go, you make a circle, you see the same cars, same distance from you. You go on a job outside in an urban area and there may not be any asphalt. And it rained and you got a dirty vehicle, but now 2 days later you working back in the city on pavement and your truck's still muddy and it's still slightly grayish maroon because of the clay you've been in. And here it is, a brand new, fairly new Mercedes-Benz sitting in the parking lot with the bright lights on in your face all day, and it's got the same residue on it as your truck, as your work truck. And you say, I'm 22, 24, 30 miles away, 35 miles away from where that type of residue could be. This car been the same place I've been. And now it's right here staring me in the face with bright lights on a major boulevard. But anyway, I'm knowing now, hey, I ain't really sleeping that well. Kind of having a problem with knots in my stomach. Kind of, to the point where I gotta say to myself, from praying to God, the pressure's on now. You've noticed this out of 2 witnesses. You've noticed this out of 2 lawyers, 2 witnesses. You've noticed that this deposition that this person issued, that they gave is not accurate in comparison to video evidence. Well, this is what power gets you. There's 2 ways to find out about power. The easy way and the hard way. And my definition of power is the ability to do whatever the fuck you want to do whenever you get ready to do it, and to whomever and however, without a consequence. Everybody don't have that power. It's inherent. To use as you feel you want to do. You can do it to conquer or you can do it to protect. And at this point, I really feel like I found out what true power was. No. I found out what power was because I went on the protection end of it. I ain't gonna make this no long drawn out subject. I've been talking like 23 minutes right now. For the ones that stuck around and listened to me, if you would like to know the rest of the story, I'd be more than happy to tell it. It's not something I really wish that this story and what I went through never, ever came to my mind. Because it ain't been nothing but a ripple effect ever since July 24, 2020. I ain't had nothing but ripples in my life. Had credit building in line with that. One thing about it, you find yourself in a bad place in your head. The importance of important things aren't so important all the time. It's a hell of a situation to be in. Kind of shitty, about where a person has to apply their focus to. And with minimal resources, your focus can't be on a lot of things at one time and expect them to get done. A situation like this, where you have to turn your focus into protecting yourself from sanction, it's a total refocus. And you find that your life is gonna just enjoyment of life and joy in life, other than life itself, it's gonna bleed away from you. You're gonna find yourself jammed up in hardship and burden. Then you go to questioning your mental. Because you ain't got nothing else to challenge. Take it and still fail because the process has already begun. The process had already started, or you just stop. You just stop altogether. You're not gonna find anyone to help you. There's power here. How many other people have felt that power? Couldn't do shit about it, knowing that you didn't deserve the treatment that you received, and that it impacted your life in ways that you can't ever explain. Truthfully. It's hard to say. But whatever the case, we got a great God. Got a great God. Got a real one. Y'all be blessed.